Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme, and we're continuing here in the village of BROUGHSHANE. And of course, I'm going to be speaking here in Second Presbyterian Church this afternoon at 2:30 on behalf of the Belfast City Mission. And so I thought I'd do a few wee videos while I'm here. And there's a big connection here with the 1859 revival and the village of BROUGHSHANE, because the 1859 revival, known also as the Great Awakening and as the Year of Grace, had a profound effect upon the local community here in this village of BROUGHSHANE. And it all started with emotional scenes in the local RACEVIEW spinning mill, and that's where we are now, as you can see. So this is where the revival in BROUGHSHANE actually started, with the outbreak of revival. It then spread, of course, around the district, and of course the fountainhead of the revival was Kells, which is also another village in County Antrim. And so large crowds, of course, gathered outside the local Presbyterian church here in BROUGHSHANE, which is up the road. As I say, I've done a wee video up there. I've done a wee video on Second Presbyterian, but I have covered First Presbyterian before, but it was a wee while ago, where I dealt with the 1859 revival as well there. But large crowds gathered outside First Presbyterian, and with the amount of people who were converting to Christ, then it actually became too small, and so they built another church known as Second Presbyterian, and it was the second congregation then of BROUGHSHANE. So this is turbine number 1, as you can see. And there's a wee bit of information here I want to read out to you. Of course, this is not a mill anymore. It's a commercial site. So it says here, RACEVIEW Mill water wheel project. In 2018, Lord O'Neill gifted a large water wheel to RACEVIEW Mill. The wheel has been recovered, and in due course the massive wheel will be restored and will take pride of place at RACEVIEW Mill. Well, guess what? It's here, because that's it there. I'll take you down and show you it shortly. But that's the water wheel there. So it has been restored and all. So it's amazing to think that the flower of revival began here in the village of BROUGHSHANE, which led then to a further church, Second Presbyterian, being built, because First Presbyterian couldn't hold the numbers. Absolutely fantastic. That's the Flax Coffee Company. This is Mill Square. And these implements here, if you're wondering what they are, they're actually for turning over the potatoes back in the day. So this is RACEVIEW Woolen Mills, Weaving Department, 1939. And I don't think, well, there's a couple of them smiling, but there's not too many, so they don't seem happy at their work, unfortunately. But I used to work in a mill myself, so I know how they feel. I worked in Hildon Mill, which was owned by Barber Threads, but it is no longer a mill. It is closed as well. So this is the water wheel that I showed you. and it is gigantic. As you can see, these are the old buildings of the mill. Isn't that amazing? You don't really get the full size of that from the camera. Absolutely fantastic. So that says the RACEVIEW mill water wheel is one of the tallest in Ireland, which can be turned by water. It definitely is a tall water wheel. I wouldn't want that going over my foot, that's for sure. Of course, during the 1859 revival, there was multitudes saved in Ulster. It didn't really affect the southern Ireland so much, but it certainly did affect Ulster, and there was multitudes saved. Even Charles Haddon Spurgeon, the famous preacher from the Tabernacle in England, he preached in Botanic Avenue in Belfast till I think it was about 20,000 or so. So did Roaring Hugh Hannah, who was a Presbyterian minister born in Dromora, not too far from where I live in Dromore. And he was a minister in Belfast, and I've actually covered his grave. He's buried in the Presbyterian cemetery near the King's Hall in Belfast. So it was definitely days of blessing during 1859. And as I say, we definitely need those days of blessing back. There's wee men and women at their work. You can see the wee crest there on the brickwork. It was probably the same here, but in Hilden Mill where I worked, they would have had a big horn, and whenever it was time to go, the big horn sounded, and away you went. So this is the wool tower here that you're looking at. How you doing?
How you doing?
RACEVIEW Mill wool tower. And they hold receptions in there for weddings, etc. Not that I'm thinking of getting married or anything. As you can see, it says the Wool Tower Wedding Venue. So if you're thinking of getting married, maybe you'd like to get married in the Wool Tower. It's flowers at the mill. So there's a wee bit of history to this building here, as in a timeline. I'm going to show you that, some photos, wee bit of information. And then I think we'll wrap this wee video up. So this is the Heritage Gallery, and you can see you really get the feel for the oldness of this place when you walk in here. Like, there's no doubt about it. Look at this here, the old boards. My goodness, the tiles. You definitely get the feel for the mill here, there's no doubt about it. And with that wee breeze of air coming in as well. So this is a wee gallery here. So as you can see, it says RACEVIEW Woolen Mills, Weaving Department, 1939. So that's all the workers. There's a happy chappy there. Of course, my mum and my dad also worked in Hilton Mill. And Hilton Mill's in Lisburn, but this mill is in BROUGHSHANE. So what they've done is they've took this photo, obviously, and they've captioned all the people in it and put them up separately, as you can see. So very good, that was excellent. So I'm going to show you a wee bit of the timeline here. You can see the photographs, but there's a timeline here. Now, if you want to read this information, you can pause the video. I won't be reading all that out, but I will take the time and read this out to you. It's only a wee caption. RACEVIEW Mill, 200 years of heritage. And then it says threads of time. Meet Joe Black, the colourful owner of the RACEVIEW Mill. In 1874, Joe Black, just as the peace, owned the RACEVIEW Mill Company after the previous owner, Alex Davidson, went bankrupt. Joe ran the mill for over 20 years. Joseph was a colourful character. He was a Justice of the Peace and a member of the Ballymena Board of Guardians, which had responsibility for local health issues, such as an outbreak of rabies in Toome. The local workhouse and Ballymena Lunatic Asylum, I don't think you'd be allowed to call it that today. But anyway, you might think he would therefore be a dull, upright member of the ruling classes. Not so. He claimed to be a champion of the working man with a great sense of humour and loved a good argument. To get support at one of the Guardian meetings, he invited a multitude of workers along so they could cheer and greet him on his arrival. In a spirited speech, he said he expected the crowd to behave better than his fellow board members. He explained how he was sent by God as a type of Moses to fight for the rights, including housing. He had a bit of a wire about himself, didn't he? To cheers, he declared he was ever ready to stand up, speak and work for them without price, fee or reward. In one of the Guardian board meetings, he was accused of encouraging farmers to school their landlords. To shoot their landlords, oh my goodness. In another board meeting, the rent for labourers' cottages was set at £1 and 6p per week. With inflation, that would be around £8 a week today. So he was a bit of a colourful character, wasn't he? There he's there at the RACEVIEW Mill. So I'll maybe just hit the highlights, for you here. So 1806, John Harrison establishes a bleach screen on the site. You can have a read. It mentions the Great Revival of 1859, as you can see. The Armagh Guardian, Friday, 3rd of June, 1859. So you can pause the video, have a read of that if you so wish. And then it goes on. As you can see. So this is a wee bit out of sync, but we'll do the bottom part now. I think you're meant to do down and up, or up and down, up and down, up and down, but that's not the way we did it. So this is 1833, a Factory Act, which was a big improvement in conditions for workers. And now mills cannot employ children under 9 years old for 12 hours a day. That's the Great Famine. The potato harvest failed in Ireland and 1 million people died. There's the light bulb he invented. He was certainly a bright spark who invented that. There's no doubt about it. That's a brownie camera. I wonder is that what brownies are named after? Don't know. Northern Ireland, 1921 comes into existence. Here's World War II begins. That's the Rolling Stones. Playing Flamingo Ballroom, Ballymena. Tickets 10 shillings, or 2 for a pound. There's Neil Armstrong, walks on the moon, 1969. Oh my goodness, there's Donald Trump. Donald Trump becomes US President, 2016. Well, guess what? He's a president again. 2020, Brexit. UK leaves the EU, European Union. And there's some old artifacts there you can have a look at. And over here. Hello. There's a few teddy bears. As you can see. I think that's what you call a tully lamp, if I remember rightly. That's a spindle of thread. And there's the people there who have lent these, just to give them a wee shout out there. You can have a read of that yourself. I've actually been in that museum there. Don't know if it was Dr. Tony Redman. It could well be still there. There was an elderly gentleman who showed me around. That was a few years ago. So there you go, folks. Isn't that amazing? And this is Gay L. Wilson, BROUGHSHANE, Ballymena, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. So I'll give you a wee view out here and then we'll wrap this wee video up. You can see the boys there at work. So there you go, hope you enjoyed that. So that's BROUGHSHANE and beginning the flooring of the 1859 revival here in the village of BROUGHSHANE. Thanks for watching and God bless.